we have the problem 9b squared plus 9b minus 10 divided by 3b minus 2. I'm going to solve this by dividing using long division. Remember that from 3rd grade, the little house? Well, we use the little house in polynomials also. Okay, so let's begin. I do have everything in descending order, my dividend and my divisor. B squared, b to the first, no b at all. In my divisor, the thing outside the house, I have b to the first and then a constant, which is no b. I'm going to look at the first term in each of these. So how many times will 3b go into 9b squared? Well, so 3 times 3 is 9, and b times b is b squared. It will go 3b. Now, just like in elementary school when you're doing long division, you have to take this 3b and multiply it times this binomial, times the things outside the house. 3b times 3b is 9b squared. 3b times a negative 2 is a negative 6b. Draw your line. We are supposed to subtract. Well, subtracting is just changing the sign. So instead of a positive, I'm going to make that a negative. Instead of a negative, I'm going to make this a positive. Sometimes I like to circle my signs to know which one I am looking at. So 9b squared and a negative 9b squared cancel. 9b and a positive 6b will be 15b. And then just like elementary school, bring down that next number. And then we do it all again. Look at the first term here and the first term there. How many times will 3b divide into 15b? Hopefully you are saying positive 5. Now 5 times this binomial. 5 times 3b is 15b. And 5 times negative 2 is a negative 10. Draw your line, and then we are going to subtract. In other words, I'm going to change the signs. 15b and a negative 15b is 0, and a negative 10 and a positive 10 is also 0. There is no remainder. I should have lined up this 3b. I should have put it over the 9b. So I will correct that on the next one. Let's do one more. Okay, next problem. We have the polynomial x to the 4th plus 6x to the 3rd plus 7x squared plus x plus 20. All of that is divided by the binomial x plus 4. So we are going to do this by long division. I first need to check, do I need any placeholders? X to the 4th, x to the 3rd, x to the 2nd, x to the 1st, no x. In my divisor, I have x to the 1st, constant. Okay, so I do not need a placeholder. Let's get to work. How many times will x divide into the x to the 4th? Remember, I'm looking at the first term in my divisor and my dividend. It will go x to the 3rd time. I will line it up a little bit better this time. Now we take x to the 3rd, multiply it times this binomial. X to the 3rd times x is x to the 4th. X to the 3rd times 4 is 4x to the 3rd. Draw your line and subtract, which means we are going to change these signs. So that will now be a negative, and that will now be a negative. X to the 4th minus x to the 4th, it's out of there. We planned it that way. 6x to the 3rd minus 4x to the 3rd is 2x to the 3rd. Now, bring down your next term. Let's do it again. Look at the first term in your divisor. Look at the first term here. X will go into 2x to the 3rd. I will need a positive 2x squared. Take this 2x squared, multiply it by this binomial. 2x squared times x is 2x to the third. 2x squared times 4 is 8x squared. Draw your line and subtract. Now we need to change our signs. I like to circle mine so I know which one I am looking at. 2x to the third minus 2x to the third. They're gone. We planned it that way. Positive 7x squared and a negative 8x squared is a negative x squared. And bring down your next term. And let's do it again. X will go into this negative x squared. I need a negative x. Take this negative x, multiply it by this binomial. Negative x times x is a negative x squared. Negative x times 4 is a negative 4x. Okay, we need to draw our line. And we will subtract. So that's why I am changing these signs. Sure enough, our first terms cancel. I have positive 1x and a positive 4x. That will be 5x. And bring down that next term, which is a positive 20. And let's do it again. X will go into 5x 5 times, a positive 5. Take this 5 and multiply it by this binomial. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 4 is 20. Draw your line and subtract. So that will become a negative. That will be a negative. And the remainder is 0. So your answer is x cubed plus 2x squared minus x plus 5.